I grabbed some china plates from the thrift store for this really easy garden project. Okay, this was the really fun part. I smashed the plates on a rock and then I set them all aside. Next, I mixed ready-mix concrete with water. For specific measurements and safety precautions, follow the instructions on the bag. I placed a 2-inch piece of cardboard tube on top of scrap wood to use as my mold, and then I put the first layer of concrete inside. I used a scrap 2x4 to tamper it down and added 3 small pieces of wire mesh. The wire mesh will add a lot of strength to this. I put another layer of concrete on, used the wood to tamper, and trowel to smooth it out. Once it was smooth and level, I placed the broken china on top. You can have a lot of fun with this part and do any sort of design. I used a scrap piece of wood again to tamper it down, making sure that the china was inset but not sunk in. Then I used a wet sponge to carefully remove the excess concrete. I wiped with the sponge a few times over the next couple of hours. After it dried for about 20 hours, I removed the cardboard around the outside and placed it in the garden for a beautiful stepping stone.
Grab a printed ceramic sectional tray bowl from the thrift store. Turn the piece upside down with the bottom facing up, then use a hammer to break it into mosaic-sized pieces. Place your mosaic pieces on a dollar store cutting board and start positioning them where you want them to fit. Glue down the pieces. Fill in the gaps with some white grout. Use a sponge to wipe away the excess grout. Adhere a small square frame on top to hold items. Then use some metal letters to attach your initials to the bottom corner of the glass. Now you have a stunning catch-all home decor piece made from smashed ceramic.
It's always a good time when you get to break stuff on purpose, right? Well, today I'm giving you permission to go break some plates, all in the name of a good upcycle project. I brought the table home and spray painted the legs and rim of the table with 2 coats of an antique gold spray paint that was made to adhere to metal. Then I added a coat of sealant and allowed the paint to fully dry. Out of the few plates I bought, I assessed which ones looked best together and decided on 2 different patterns. One with a more beige crackled background and one with pretty dainty flowers and a white background. I quickly cleaned the plates with a damp paper towel, then spread an old towel on the ground. I placed a plate on one side and covered it with the rest of the towel. Then I used a hammer to gently break each plate into pieces of all sizes. I continued until I felt I had enough pieces. I cleaned the top of the table to remove any debris, then used the flat side of a trowel to apply a thin layer of pre-mixed thin set. Then I used the notch side of the trowel to add a bit more thin set and add some texture. Next, I started laying the pieces of plates onto the table and pushed them lightly into the thin set. I took my time and added pieces to fill in the gaps as best I could, while still leaving decent-sized gaps in between. Once all the pieces of plates were laid, I allowed the thin set to dry according to the directions, which was about 24 hours. Next, I mixed together some pre-made sanded grout in the color bone. I used a plastic spatula to spread the grout over the tabletop at a 45-degree angle. I allowed the grout to sit for 15 to 20 minutes, then used a damp sponge to clean off the tiles, the sides, and the legs of the table. After about 16 hours, the thrifted plate mosaic table was ready to use. It makes the perfect outdoor side table or plant stand for my patio.
Today's project, we're going to use a vintage plate. I got this at a thrift store, and then we're going to put it in a Ziploc bag and put a cloth or a towel over top of it. And we're going to hit it gently with a hammer and then check it and see how it's broken. And those look like great pieces for charms or pendants for a necklace. And then decide which one would be the best pendant. And I'm going to show you 2 different versions. You're going to grab some sandpaper, or this is like a sanding pad, which I love, and sand the edges so that they're smooth and that there's no place that can cut you. Then we're going to take some copper tape, which I love. This is the coolest stuff. And we're going to put that along the edge. It has a sticky back, so you're going to peel that just a little at a time. And we're going to put that right along the edge of your china piece. So we're going to fold that down afterwards to make it more decorative. As soon as you get your copper tape covering the entire piece of china on the edge. You're going to overlap the last part to go onto the other side and then trim it. And then you're going to gently push down all the copper tape that's sticking up on both sides. And you're going to continue doing that all the way around until you get the top and the bottom completely pushed down. We're going to work on our second charm and then come back to this one. We're going to grab a piece of leather and we're going to put a bead of our E6000. And then we're going to grab a large jump ring and we're going to use that as the top of your charm and put it on the leather, just hanging about halfway, and then add a little more E6000 glue and then put the charm right on top. And then we're going to let that dry. And after the glue is totally dry, you're going to grab some scissors and trim the edge all the way around. And now on this one, we're going to just grab some gold paint and we're going to put that on the edge to make that sealed and to look more finished. And then we're going to let that dry. And we're going to do the same process of adding a jump ring on this pendant so that it can hang off of a chain, but we're going to do it in reverse. We're going to add some E6000 glue to the top of the pendant, put the large jump ring halfway down at the top, and then cover the back with some more glue and put the leather. But I won't show you that part since I already kind of showed you on the first charm. Now for our first charm necklace, I'm going to show you how to make an adjustable sliding knot necklace out of leather cording. You'll need 3 feet of a leather cording. You could use cotton cording also, and put one piece over top the other, and you're going to wrap it around 2 to 3 times. So it makes like a coil. And then you're going to take that little tail that you see on the right, and you're going to put it over top and slide it right through all those coils. And then you're going to pull it really snug like you're trying to tie a knot, but it's actually going to slide. So after you tighten it, see how it slides? You'll see right here, it'll slide really easily. Now we're going to take that other side and bring it around, because this is how you make a double sliding knot. So it's an adjustable necklace. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go over top of the other side, go around 3 times. And then we're going to slide that right through the opening of both the coils. See the double coils right there? Right there, we're going to slide that right through. This is such an easy little hack on making a necklace that's adjustable. And then we're going to tighten that. And now you have a sliding necklace. So I'm going to pull this, and this will make it look more like a choker, and trim both edges. And I don't do it all the way to the knot. I like it kind of hanging because I like the look of it. Then we're going to add our charm. We're going to grab a jump ring and you open it side to side. That's always important. Never open it like a claw because you'll never get it back together. Take another pliers and go side to side back into place. You can use your fingers also. Then I added a pearl just because I thought that would make it more interesting. And I did that the same way, open side to side, the jump ring, and then close it side to side. And now you have your first necklace. And again, you'll be able to slide that open to get it over your head, and it's adjustable. Now for the next one, take a large jump ring, open it side to side, and then add it to a chain, and then add it to your charm, and then close it side to side. And then you have your second necklace. So pretty. Look how pretty these turned out. They are just so unique. And I think the coolest thing would be that if you have like some old china that maybe like was your grandma's and it was chipped, you can make it into like an heirloom piece. Be a great gift for the holidays and for a birthday present for somebody you love. And I'm all about layering, so wearing the 2 necklaces together is great. Remember how I made this leather one adjustable? So you just slide it down and see how I made it longer. And look how cute this looks. And then you can also take your other necklace, the one that was on the chain, and I made this longer so it was more like a duster and hung that lower. And then pulled the choker down a little more and made that longer as well. And I just love the way these turned out. They're versatile and I just think they are just beautiful.